bummy today. You was bony and looking too funny today. I don't care, nigga still make change. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Chatting with Cheeze podcast. I'm your host, Fat Cheeze, and y'all already know the motto: no gimmicks, only the real. This is episode 53. Y'all know what I need from y'all. Continue to smash that subscribe button. We are on our way to 300 subscribers. Also, do not forget to like and share the content when it drops, and also like this video. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. So on Saturday night, we had a nice card for boxing. Y'all know I like to dibble and dab in the boxing. You know, that's my third favorite sport behind football and basketball. And we had a nice card this weekend. But it wasn't the main event, but the most talked about fight throughout that whole card was Shakur Stevenson. How was Shakur Stevenson look? He was back in the ring, and I want to give my reaction to Shakur Stevenson's fight on Saturday night. So let's go ahead. So the co-feature of Saturday night's boxing card in New York brought some fire as Shakur Stevenson defended his WBC lightweight title by unanimous decision in a brilliant back-and-forth fight against William Zepeda. A relentless Zepeda put up his best effort, but Stevenson's technicality won out to help him retain his title. The final scores were 118-110, 118-110, and 119-109, all in Stevenson's favor. Saturday's fight was a game of offense versus defense. Stevenson, who is known for his heavily defensive style, started off the bout by dancing away from the aggressive swing of Zepeda. Though Stevenson was more efficient, Zepeda was able to control the pace, forcing Stevenson to engage with the fight more so than his usual output. Zepeda cornered Stevenson. Fuck, bro. Come on, Cheeze. Tighten up. Come on. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Chatting with Cheeze podcast. I'm your host, Fat Cheeze, and y'all already know the motto: no gimmicks, only the real. This is episode 53. Now, before we get into it, y'all know what I need from y'all. I need y'all to continue to smash that subscribe button. We are on our way to 300 subscribers. Also, do not forget to like and share the content when it drops. Also, drop a like down on this video, and let's go ahead and dive right into it, man. So on Saturday night, we had a nice card for boxing, man. Y'all know I like to dibble and dab with boxing. That's my third favorite sport outside of football and basketball. And Saturday was a nice card. But the talk of that whole card was, of course, Shakur Stevenson. Not the main event, but everybody wanted to know what Shakur was going to do. So I'm going to give y'all my reaction on the Shakur Stevenson fight and what I thought about it. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The co-feature of Saturday's boxing card in New York brought some fire as Shakur Stevenson defended his WBC lightweight title by unanimous decision in a brilliant back-and-forth fight against William Zepeda. A relentless Zepeda put up his best effort, but Stevenson's technicality won out to help him retain his title. The final scores were 118-110, 118-110, and 119-109, all in Stevenson's favor. Saturday's fight was a game of offense versus defense. Stevenson, who is known for his heavily defensive style, started off the bout by dancing away from the aggressive swing of Zepeda. Though Stevenson was more efficient, Zepeda was able to control the pace, forcing Stevenson to engage with the fight more than his usual output. Zepeda cornered Stevenson into the ropes, getting in a few huge jabs, but Stevenson eventually pulled back into the center of the ring, staying technical and efficient with his blows. Zepeda continued to be relentless, throwing nearly 4 times as many punches as Stevenson, but keeping up with the fight with a shocking amount of endurance. The two exchanged several key combinations, but Stevenson started to pull away from Zepeda's relentlessness, began to flag through the first 6 rounds were incredibly close. Though the first 6 rounds were incredibly close, Stevenson was able to shift gears and retain momentum down the stretch to retain his title. Sorry for the word fumbling or whatever, but y'all heard me for the most part. And if you watched the fight, you know what happened. My thoughts on the fight was, man, I was happy for Shakur. I thought this is something that Shakur needed. You know, a lot of people been going at Shakur about his fighting style, calling his fights boring, saying that he's just not an exciting fighter. A lot of people don't want to watch him. Lately, he's been co-main in his last couple of fights. So I think this was something important for Shakur. I think Shakur went out there with the mindset saying that I'm gonna show guys that if I have to exchange, I can do that. If I got to stay in that pocket, I can do that. And I think he showed it. At first, I was getting a little frustrated with him because he kept going to the ropes and giving Zepeda the chance to, get some shots off on him. And yes, he said that Zepeda didn't get him and almost drop him or whatever. But the way it looked from my view, he said he was off balance and that's what caused it. But to me, it looked like Zepeda got in a good shot on him and he almost, put him down. But he ended up being able to, regain his control. A lot of those shots that Zepeda was throwing, even though he was throwing a lot of punches, a lot of them wasn't landing. And I felt like Shakur did a great job. Once he got off the ropes, you seen that him and Zepeda was in two totally different leagues. Shakur Stevenson is an elite fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I think he knows if he wants those big fights that he's looking for, he had to come out there and put on a performance like he did. And in my personal opinion of watching Shakur, this past Saturday night was his best performance in my opinion. But Shakur, if you so happily see this video, bro, if it make it to you by God's grace, whatever, don't do that again, bro. At the end of the day, you took more punishment than you needed to take, and you took more punishment that you usually never take. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the casuals be the casuals, bro. If people don't want to sit and watch good technical boxing and watch defense first boxing, the goal in boxing is to hit and not get hit. If people don't want to sit and watch that and watch you do that in a masterful way and they consider that boring, let them think what they want to think, bro. Do not go out there and change your fighting style trying to appease a bunch of casuals or a bunch of people that have never stepped foot in a boxing ring or have never done anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, bro. It's cool. Win the fights the way you feel most comfortable winning the fights. Like I said, do I feel like Saturday night was his best performance? Yes, I do. But at the same time, don't do that no more, bro. You took way more punishment than you needed to take. You didn't have to. Once you got him to the middle of the ring, everybody with eyes could clearly see it was no competition. It was no competition. You was doing whatever you wanted to do. The main thing for him was he was just throwing more punches than you. But you seen that your punches and things were affecting him way more. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I like what Shakur did. Now the question is, who's next? And for me, I see Kid Austin, dad, and they calling his name, but I know he just had a situation. We not gonna speak on it, but I mean, my only thing I can say is Tank. You have no excuses now. You just seen he just fought an opponent. People was always he fighting a bunch of nobodies. He just fought somebody. That has a decent resume. He just showed everybody that he could stand in the pocket and go blow for blow. He just showed you that he can exchange. So now it's no excuses. I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, well, he got to fight more, do this, do that. No, he just showed this past Saturday night, he just showed everybody what he's capable of. So now there's no excuses for Tank. And I'm not saying that Tank have been making excuses, but I'm saying that now I think Tank, I feel like it's the best for both of them. Now, I did see something about Shakur possibly fighting Lamont Roach. That could be something awesome. That'll be something that I'll definitely be looking forward to and want to watch. But I think right now, the next one should either be Kid Austin or Javante. And I think Shakur showed the world that he showed the world that he's an all around the board elite fighter, bro. Point blank period. I'm not going to go too much in it, but he showed everybody that he's an elite fighter. He can do whatever needs to be done to win a fight. Also, a lot of the time, I gave Shakur a lot of grace too because he was dealing with a hand injury. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I was kind of giving him grace when everybody wasn't. But don't go out there and try to change your boxing style to try to appease people, bro. Go out there and win the fights the way that you want to win them. If you can beat a guy by not allowing him to touch you and you landing effective shots, win that way. Don't take unnecessary punishment to try to prove a point to people, bro. That's all I'm saying. But shouts out to Shakur, hell of a fight. Like I said, I felt as though it was his best performance in his career. To me, that's to me personally. If you think you seen one better, comment down below and let me know. But I feel like it was his best performance. And shout out to Shakur, good win, and I can't wait to see what's next. Moving on. So, the heavily anticipated Cooper Flagg, #1 overall pick, stepped into the Summer League. He played 2 games, and the Dallas Mavericks decided that they're going to shut him down. There was no more that nobody needed to see, and I think that they made the right decision. So, I'm going to give my thoughts on Cooper Flagg's 2 Summer League games. So, after 2 exciting games, Cooper Flagg's time in the NBA Summer League has come to an end. The Dallas Mavericks rookie has been reportedly shut down by the team for the rest of the summer, per NBA insider Mark Stein. Flagg, the #1 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft, played in 2 Summer League games, a win over the Los Angeles Lakers on Thursday and Saturday's loss to the San Antonio Spurs. Flagg put up a massive performance in his second game with Dallas on Saturday, scoring 31 points off of a hot second quarter despite Flagg's shooting. The Mavericks fell short to the #2 overall draft pick Dylan Harper and the Spurs in a 7-point loss. The strong showing came after Flagg struggled slightly in his Mavericks debut Thursday. The 18-year-old forward put up 10 points while shooting 5 of 21, calling it one of the worst games of his life after the game. So my thoughts on Cooper Flagg's 2 Summer League games. The first game, I was just excited just to see, how he would look in that type of setting. And, I wasn't really worrying about we seen flashes, and for me, that was enough to see. The shooting I'm not concerned with. I feel like he'll get better with that. It was just cool to see him out there with him and Bronny. That storyline, to me, I was looking more, I just wanted to see how he looked in that setting, because it's pressure. Everybody there to see you play. You the #1 overall pick. You got all these expectations on you already. And I felt like, the nerves probably got to him. We've seen guys that turned out to be great players have bad first games. Kobe Bryant, air balls, and turned out to be one of the greatest players of all time later on down the line. So I wasn't worried about that. The second game, that 31 points, that's the Cooper Flagg that I expect. You seen the nerves calm down. He realized, okay, boom, this is what it is. He showed what he's going to be. After that second game, that 31-point performance, what I took from these two Summer League games is something that everybody should have already known. Cooper Flagg, I feel like, is going to be a star in this league. I think he has it all. He has the entire package. He has the athleticism. He gives you great effort on the defensive end, blocking shots. If he can just work on his shooting, which will come in time. The kid is 18 years old. You got to give him that time to, get his shooting and stuff together. It's different making that transition from college to the pros, but just give him some time. I think once he gets his shooting together with that athleticism, what he gives you on the defensive end, Cooper Flagg is absolutely going to be a star in this league. And I think that he was drafted into the perfect position with the Mavericks. He can learn from Anthony Davis. You got Gafford and Lively over there. Also, we got to see what Kyrie does, how long before Kyrie comes back from injury. They signed D'Lo. You got Clay. He got put in a perfect situation. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're gonna be one of the best defensive teams in the league with him, Anthony Davis, and Gafford or Lively, whoever you decide to have at that center position. But I think Cooper Flagg is going to be a star. And that's what I took from it. A lot of people had cash trash to talk after the first game, but I wasn't too worried about that. The second game is what I expect. Now, will he give you 31 every night? Absolutely not. But I was just glad to see him look comfortable, get comfortable, understand, okay, the pressure is on me, but embrace that. And I think that's what he did in that second game. So I like what I seen from him. And I think Dallas did the right thing by shutting him down. You went out there, boom, okay, he struggled in that first game. Let's throw him out there in the second game, see what he can give us. He go out there and he scored 31 points. We shutting him down. That's all we need to see. So I like the idea, but I'm not going dive too deep into that, but all I took from those two games was what I've been thinking from Jump Street, and that was Cooper Flagg is definitely gonna be something special in this league. And I think that with the team that he has around him, with the guys that he can learn from, man, we could see it come fast. Like, pause. We could see, early, like the same, like maybe within like 2 or 3 years, once he gets comfortable enough and gets a jump shot, man, we could see within the next 2 or 3 years Cooper Flagg possibly in the All-Star game, possibly, right now. And I mean, this not no bold take or no, but I think he probably may win Rookie of the Year, because I just think he's that talented, especially, and we already know the athleticism, what he can do athletically. I just think how impressive he is on defense. I mean, if you watch the Summer League games, the way he's blocking shots, he's skying, like he's jumping so high in the air, just the pure athleticism that he have. And mind you, this is raw. Like, this is not nothing that's been, worked on. This is raw talent, him coming in, and when he can hone that all in and put it all together, man, we gonna be looking at something special. Trust me. So that's my take for the two games and what I thought. Not too much. Like I said, I didn't put too much stock into that first game, but that second game was really impressive, and I was happy to see him slow down and kind of get himself together and have the performance that he did in that second game. So I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. But I'm definitely gonna be tapped in to some Dallas Mavericks games this year. Moving on, and this was supposed to be a short pod, bruh. A short pod. But like I said, for some reason, I don't know, every single time I'm about to record, or the day before or the day after, something always happened that I gotta speak on. So the news that had everybody in the uproar yesterday, Bleacher Report dropped their top 100 players. I think the last time they did it if I'm not mistaken, somebody said like 4 years ago or something. I could be wrong. Probably got to fact check me on that. But I think somebody said it was like some years ago the last time they dropped one. So the biggest problem that everybody had with that top 100 list was Kobe Bryant not being a part of the top 10. So I'm going to name the top 10 that they do have on here, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. So the top 10, of course, at number 1, they have Michael Jordan. Number 2, they have LeBron James. Number 3, they have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At number 4, they have Magic Johnson. Number 5, Bill Russell. Number 6, Shaq. Number 7, Tim Duncan. Number 8, Larry Bird. Number 9, Wilt Chamberlain. And to round out the top 10, they have Stephen Curry. Now, first, before I dive into this topic, right? We all know I call this part of the year. This is like for the sports world, this is the boring part, because there's no more basketball. Football is right around the corner, but it's not quite there. You still got training camp and all that. NBA free agency is over. So this is the time where you get a lot of clickbait. You get a lot of rage bait. You get a lot of these lists. People dropping different lists. You just had the top 10 quarterbacks. People was in the uproar yesterday about Jalen Hurts. This is around that time. So this is rage bait, clickbaiting time, right? So for me, when I looked at this list, automatically I'm looking to see, okay, Kobe's not in the top 10. I also want to know why Hakeem Olajuwon's not in the top 10. I also want to know why is Tim Duncan not in the top 5? Why is Shaq not in the top 5? But I get it. But the main question that everybody wants to know is, the main thing is Kobe Bryant, right? I believe Kobe Bryant should absolutely been in the top 10. I have Kobe Bryant in my top 5. Now, the person that Kobe Bryant, everybody wants to know, well, if you put Kobe in the top 10, who would you remove? The easy answer is Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry is one of the greatest players of all time. I have Steph Curry in my top 10, me personally. But let me keep going. Steph Curry is one of the greatest shooters of all times. You know what I'm saying? But in no world, and I love Steph, but in no world is Steph Curry a better player than Kobe Bryant. In no world should Steph Curry be ranked over Kobe Bryant. I don't care if you have them both in the top 10. In no world should Steph Curry be ranked over Kobe Bryant. And for those of y'all that's gonna hop into my comment section and, well, this is why Steph should be over Kobe. Let me do this because I did my research on this, right? So when it comes to NBA championships, Kobe has more with 5. Steph Curry has 4. When it comes to All-Stars, Kobe has 18. He has more than Steph Curry. When it comes to MVPs, Steph has 2, Kobe has 1. When it comes to Finals MVPs, Kobe has more than Steph. He has 2. When it comes to all NBA first teams, Kobe has more than Steph. He has 11. When it comes to all NBA teams total selections, Kobe has more than Steph. He has 15. When it comes to all defensive teams, Kobe has more than Steph. He has 9. Steph has 0. When it comes to all defensive teams total selections, Kobe has 12. Again, Steph has 0. And this is not a knock on Steph. Let me clear that up right now. This is not a knock on Steph Curry whatsoever. Steph Curry is a great player. Like I said, I have Steph Curry in my top 10. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. I think Stephen Curry is the greatest point guard of all time. That's just my opinion, though. That's just what I feel. But in no world is Steph Curry better than Kobe. And I don't know what has been going on lately, what's been in the water or whatever people been drinking. But it's like lately it's been like open season on Kobe Bryant. And I don't understand it for the life of me, bro. I don't. Like, I really don't. You know what I'm saying? And for those of y'all that want to say, well, Kobe, his first 3 championships, he was a second option. He was behind Shaq. Now, for that argument, I do believe Shaq was the best player on those Lakers teams when they won those 3 championships, when they three-peated. But for those of y'all that act like Shaq was carrying Kobe, that's absolutely not the truth. Because if you look at the numbers, Kobe was right there. And honestly, you could argue some of those seasons Kobe was better than Shaq. I'm just being real. So let's go. Let's look at the numbers right here. In the 96, 97, these are all the years that Shaq and Kobe played with each other. The 96-97 season, Kobe averaged 7.6 points per game. The 97-98 season, Kobe averaged 15.4 points per game. The 99 season, Kobe averaged 19.9 points per game. The 99-2000 season, Kobe averaged 22.5 points per game. The 2000 and 2001 season, Kobe averaged 28.5 points per game. The 01-02 season, Kobe averaged 25.2 points per game. The 02-03 season, Kobe averaged 30 points per game. And the 03-04 season, Kobe averaged 24 points per game. And that was Shaq's final year in LA. So for people to act like Shaq was literally carrying Kobe, no, bro. Kobe was out there hooping too. And let's keep it 100. When Shaq left, yes, he did win another championship in Miami, but he was the second option to D-Wade. And this is no knock on Shaq. I have Shaq in my top 5. When Pau Gasol came to LA, Pau Gasol never made it out the first round until he got with Kobe Bryant. So I don't know what's going on, like what's these narratives being pushed or whatever, but we got to cut it out, man. We got to show Kobe some respect. Like, real talk. Like, we got to give Kobe his just due. Kobe, there's no way in no world is Kobe not a top 10 player in NBA history. In no world should Steph Curry be ranked over Kobe Bryant. Like, come on, bro. We gotta stop. We gotta stop that. So I just wanted to get my thoughts on that. But it's a lot of things on this list that I would change personally. Like I said, I would have Shaq and Duncan in my top 5. I would have Kobe in my top 5. I'm gonna be honest with you, for me, the wild card is Bill Russell. I would have Hakeem in the top 10. You know, it's a lot of things about this list that I would change, but I just wanted to speak on the focal point where everybody was discussing yesterday, which was Kobe Bryant not being in and Steph being over him. So that's my opinion, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Did Bleacher Report get it right? Should Kobe have not been in the top 10? Should Steph be in there? Let me know what y'all think. And if y'all feel the need, drop y'all top 10 in the comments and let me know how y'all feel. But that's it for that, man. And my final and last topic, and this is not no topic, this is just me, just talking a little bit, man. This episode right here is going to wrap up season 1 of the Chatting with Cheese podcast, bro. And, we about to transition to season 2, and I got some very special stuff coming for y'all in this next season, man. But this right here for me is just just an appreciation for y'all, man. Everybody that's been supporting me on this journey, bro. Like I said, when I first started this podcast last year, you know, I always loved sports. I done told this story a million times, but I'm gonna say it again. I always loved sports, and people was telling me for a while I should, you know, go to school, be a sports commentator, do things like that. And I was just like, nah. I just was like one of those guys that like to talk sports on the streets. But more and more as I got older, and then the podcast spaces started to come, and I started to see, I'm like, man, you know, that's pretty cool. I want to do it. So I jumped into it, bro. And I didn't think that it would be, you know, even get to this point, bro. I'm 53 episodes in, bro. Like, if you would have told me before this, I didn't think I would make it to 5 episodes, you know what I'm saying, let alone 53. And you know, the page just continues to growing. The channel is growing. You know, I'm almost at 300 subscribers. I appreciate everybody who took the time out to subscribe to my channel. Those of y'all who know me and those of y'all who don't. I also just did my first ever collab podcast. Shout out to 14 Rings and NFC East podcast for allowing me to come on. And, you know, if you didn't go check it out, man, go check it out. Great episode, good energy, great sports talk. You know, shout out to those guys over there. And, you know, shout out to Scooter Davis, you know, my first interview on my podcast. You know, that was solid. Shout out to Isaiah Moore, a.k.a. Zay. My second interview, and man, we got so much more coming, bro. Like, we introducing a lot of new stuff, you know, and just keep growing with me. That's the main thing. Like, just keep growing with me, and trust me, bro. I promise you, when it's all said and done, we look back to this is gonna be the biggest sports podcast in this area. Like, that's the goal, that's the plan. I'm sticking to it. Like, I really enjoy it. I found my passion, and I'm just glad that, you know, a lot of y'all have, you know, tagged along with me on this, bro. But this gonna wrap up season 1. We transitioning over to season 2. Training camp for the NFL starts next week, so you know I'm about to get back in my football bag, and we got more interviews coming. We got more things. Trust me, bro. It's about to be, this joint about to just keep growing, bro. Just stick with me. I promise y'all, I'm not stopping. It's just gonna keep getting better and better, man. So that's the end of this episode 53. Nothing too long. We'll be about 28 minutes, close to 30. So, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. You know, continue to smash that subscribe button. We on our way to 300 subscribers. Continue to support, continue to like, continue to comment. I don't care if it's positive or negative, bro. Just continue to engage, man. Give me that motivation. I'm going to try to do way more interviews coming. I'm going to try to, you know, have more special guests come on the podcast. And, man, trust me, bro, it's going to be great. But I appreciate y'all. Like I said, continue to rock with me, and I'm going to keep delivering for y'all, man. And I see y'all next time.